Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Stephanie. Today I am going to be demonstrating some things I made up on the fly, some different techniques I'm using, and a few new products that I picked up from Ulta. I'm really glad you're here and I hope you enjoy the content. Welcome to the sports edition. I got so much gray on the top of my head right now, I just don't feel like looking at it in the camera. Just full transparency, I have a lot of discoloration over my nose. I have large pores, redness. I am going to see what I can do about a light coat of color correction that I'm just gonna make with some stuff that I have. And I haven't tried this before, so let's see how it goes. When I was at Ulta the other day, this was somewhat of an impulse buy. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the shade Lavender. I picked it up because I'm curious about it, and I've never used this brand, and it was half price. So I only paid like $2.49 for this. And lavender is supposed to be a brightening effect. So I thought I didn't have a lot to lose, so I wanted to try it. And I'm going to mix it with some green concealer from my Stila palette, and green corrects redness. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the green, a little bit of the lavender, and also going to take my Revlon Colorstay Skin Awaken 5-in-1 concealer. So I'm going to take these three things, mix them up, and see if I can color correct and get a nice, oh, just a second, I wasn't filming. That's annoying. I was going to show you what I was doing, but I'll just review. I used about one little squeeze on this brush tip applicator here and put it on my finger, and then swatched some of the green concealer out of the pan here. And now I am gonna go in with my Revlon Colorstay, like that. My goal is to be able to color correct those areas on my face so that I can use less foundation to cover them up. And so I want this to be concealed lightly. I want to avoid caking makeup on as much as possible. Mixing around in my hand here. I've never done this before, so let's see how it goes. And I'm only going to go on the areas that are really in desperate need. Just around the center of my face. Look in the mirror here. Still dealing with a little bit of redness through here. Well, it's definitely brighter. It's definitely not as discolored. Okay, I'm gonna fan it out a little bit through the rest of my face. Go through what I just did. A little bit more green there. The nice thing is I can't feel this on my face. It's a really, really light coverage, so a little bit more here. Mixing it in, I'm just gonna pat it. Oh, didn't even think about under the eyes. I'm used to using an orange or peach corrector under my eyes. Oh wow. I'm glad I decided to branch out. Not want too much. That is definitely my goal. Okay, I didn't put any up on my forehead because there's not so much discoloration on my forehead. It's just a lot of texture, so try to avoid that if possible. I'm happy with that. Pretty pasty. I think I like that. Very, very little product. Very thin. It really did, for the most part, cancel the worst part of the discoloration. So, yeah. If you have not tried the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush for $7, I highly recommend it. It is perfect for blending and buffing foundation onto your skin for a flawless finish. Today I'm using the Revlon Illuminance foundation. I haven't used this for a while. I used a couple pumps and I am just pushing it into the skin here with the brush, and it, in combination with this brush, just creates a really beautiful finish. This foundation and this particular brush really made for a great foundation day. Very happy with the way it turned out. I have heard so many good things about these $3 e.l.f. eyebrow pencils that I had to pick one up and try it for myself. I prefer to have a pencil versus a brush. I just have more control. This is the shade Taupe, and I've used it a few times. And wow, this is just a really nice brow pencil. I basically just take this and brush it on the side on my brow. I barely tap it. I mean, just barely. And it deposits color. I'm not going in and drying. I am feathering it across my eyebrow, and I'm getting just the right amount. I am not a drama eyebrow person. I just want to be able to even my eyebrows and bring some equity. I've got one eyebrow over here that is way more thick and dark than this one. It's also raised higher. So the only goal that I have is to make them look halfway even and fill in the sparse areas. This is a nice pencil for that, because if I just feather it over the area, it's harder to overdo and make my brows look more harsh. I do not like an overly done, harsh looking brow. I do appreciate a $3 eyebrow pencil that is useful. I'm not gonna put this entire thing on camera today because it takes me too long. But basically, you're just getting an idea. I'm just feathering. That is good enough. I mean, I'm wearing a baseball cap, so it's not like I'm trying to be super fancy. This has a spoolie on the end, which is very handy. Gotta love a spoolie. Now, I have some clear e.l.f. eyebrow gel that I could use as well, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'm just gonna brush these out. Good enough. I love me a smoky eye. And today I went for the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette, because these particular shades and this palette is so reliable. They're matte shades. They are just the right pigment. They don't fall over my face. It's just a very reliable palette. So I'm not a makeup artist. So if I'm gonna go do something that I'm not great at application, I'm gonna go for a reliable, steady palette, and this would be the one. This brush I am using is the Urban Decay Naked Dual-end brush that comes with another one of my palettes. Now, I made a discovery today. I don't know what took me so long, so please, have mercy. I had been using the fat, fluffy end to do the deepest part of the smoky eye on my lid this whole time. And somehow I discovered if I just use the smaller, more dense end on the entire lid, it packs the product easier, it's more controlled, it doesn't get all over the place, and it just makes for less application time. So there you go, I learned something. So this was a really fun eye look for me today. I took my time, I was just playing with the brush and seeing what I could do. This is also the longest part of my video, so if you want to just speed through it, that's fine. I sped it up for you so you don't have to watch every painstaking step. But I did timestamp the different portions of my video in the comment section if you want to skip to the next thing. But I had a really great time doing this. I was really happy with the outcome. I feel more confident moving on the next one that I'll do. And I will be doing more of these because I really do enjoy a smoky eye. My eyes are probably my favorite feature. And if I can play those up, I just feel more confident, and it's just fun. I flipped the ends of the brush depending on how much pressure I needed or what my goal was. I stopped to clean up every now and again just so it wouldn't be such a mess when I finished. So, you know, when I was applying, of course, you're going to get a little bit of that deep color, you know, fanning out on the outer corner and on the inner corner. I picked up a clean BS Small eyeshadow brush to start to sort of feather out the color above my crease so that I can work into a transition. This is a fluffy brush. I don't know what brand it is. I got it in an Ipsy kit, and it's not marked, so I can't tell you what it is, but it's a really nice blending brush. I'm moving on now to the second transition color here, and basically just applying it with a softer brush right above my crease and working it to where it's bold but not harsh. Taking that fluffy brush and sort of cleaning it up and blending it again. Okay, now I'm getting back into my IT Cosmetics palette again and picking up a lighter shade. I'm using a Farmasi crease brush. It has just enough density and it's big enough to where I can, big enough and small enough to where it fits nicely under the eyebrow. Going in with my Urban Decay Naked Mania palette here, picking up the darkest shade for some liner. I'm using a liner brush from BS Mall. I like to have a really dark, smoky, heavy presence of liner, but not to where it looks messy. So my goal is to make it clean, not messy, but still quite dramatic. I'll use that same brush to bring the product up into my outer corner and build a little bit more drama there. I like to clean up the lines by using this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer pen. Finally, time for some beautiful mascara to just finish this look. Mascara just really puts the icing on the cake. I did most of my mascara off camera, so you couldn't tell that I literally used 3 coats of mascara. I thought it looked really good. I was really happy with this. I'm using my finger here to apply a little bit of lavender powder that I picked up out of my Stila palette, and then just using a damp sponge to set it a little bit better. I like this technique. I learned it from Laura Ray. Another thing I bought at Ulta the other day was this beautiful Buttermelt blush by NYX. And I really like a berry blush. I love berry shades. This one though, and I knew I was getting myself into something. It's too deep. So I have to treat it like a liquid brush. I just swatch it on the back of my hand and then dip my brush in. I take an angled brush and I just very carefully apply it in thin layers until I get the desired look. I find that sometimes with powdered blush, if I just take it right out of the pan and onto my face, it'll make a big blob and it's harder to move around. So I think it's a good technique anyway, but in this case, I really like this blush, but it's definitely too much to just apply directly. I thought this worked really well. This is a nice blush. It's very creamy. It feels like it's finely milled. It's just lovely, and it's $10. I highly recommend it. e.l.f. has some new lip pencil formulas. Mauve Aside, this is the color Mauve Aside, $2. And it goes on so smooth, no pulling or tugging, and oh my gosh, it performs like a higher end lip pencil. I was really happy with this. I'm gonna have to go back and get some more shades, but I just wanted to test to see how this would, apply, how long it lasts. And it's just lovely, creamy, comfortable. And I didn't do a wear test, but I did wear it most of the day, and it looked really nice. I'm just using some gloss here, my favorite NYX butter gloss in the shade Madeleine. No matter what I put on my lips, it always seems to bleed out the sides, so I just fix it with the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I learned this little powder hack from Laura Ray. Basically just pressing powder in with the warmth of my fingers without using a sponge or a powder puff. I like this. It seems like it prevents drying of the powder and sitting on top of your skin. The outdoor sun test, I don't see any caking, gathering, drying, creasing. I'm really happy with the foundation and the concealer that I put underneath. I'm really liking this. I'm happy with this. My son's photobombing me. You can see the lip liner is still hanging in there pretty well. Yeah, this has been a good makeup day. All right, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.